Right, everyone, we are back with Battle Brothers. Apologies because I chopped the last episode for being too long. We're coming back in rather abruptly this episode as we return to a town after just having solved some of its problems, by which I mean we killed a lot of things for them. I go back, and suddenly their trade routes are being raided. There's another mission there, and it's drive off brigands. And I like driving off brigands because it makes stuff cheaper to buy. See, we're very single-minded. Even though we may now be a mercenary company, we're still thinking like a trade caravan. And if there's an opportunity to drive down the price of trade goods, we'll go murder bandits in order to do it. It's just good business. Alright, I feel like we have been down this road before. Fortified position, brigands. Not very many good approaches. I'm seeing 3 archers. Forest will slow us down on the way in. Yeah, what's not to like? I think we need to move up and push, even though it's unpleasant. We don't have much of a numbers advantage, so it's going to have to be better tactics around a choke point because they have a better defensive position. Oh, and they have more throwing weapons, which means we really need to close the distance. What we will do is we will exploit rotation if we can, and we will use our pikes because I'm seeing 1 two-handed support weapon from them, not a huge number. So the weak points in the line are going to be like the points of contact here and here. Here is a place where you can put 2 soldiers in base contact with him, and you can have pikes supporting, and you can have archers supporting. So this is a point of potential failure. So he does get targeted first. He's not spear walling or anything because he's too busy throwing shit at me. Okay, that achieved basically nothing, but that's okay. Do I want to go up here and force him to stop throwing shit at me? I can, but I'm then very exposed to potentially being double teamed. I'm going to wait and then move through this way, I think. Your turn is done, so I can move into base contact with you. Wow, okay, they're going pretty all out, actually. So let's wait and then move Asher, and then the pike can engage. Yeah, I think that's fine, because that's going to protect him from the maximum number of archers. Because if I move here, there's a chance an archer gets an angle on me. Okay, they're basically going for a general engagement. So I'm happy to take that. I think the furball works well for me. So we're now basically fully engaged. This one, Conrad, who is admittedly not undisposable, is surrounded, but he's going to suck up a lot of attention, and he forces weapon swaps, and he's inside the minimum range, so he's less likely to get hit. So he's doing important work. We have a flail, and ideally the flail would be up here with this Brigand Raider, but instead, let's try and take this guy out. There we are. Conrad's getting pretty beat up. 59 or 49. 59. Fantastic, he's running. Conrad in terrible shape. Probably not going to survive this, if I'm honest. Kill demoralizes people. Nice on that Brigand Marksman. This is really risky if I rotate this, because Robert has armor but not much shielding, but let's try for the greedy play. Okay. So far, it's looking good for Robert. And you know he can do damage with that axe. He might even do a wild swing, which will get 3 hit attempts. Not very good hit attempts, but 3 hit attempts nonetheless. The Brigand Raider down here goes in 12. I'm not... Yes, we act before, so Asher might be able to end this guy early. Keep fighting for the line break up front. Roll enough dice and eventually one will get through. Or so goes the logic. I mean, the logic is not working so far. If we lose our Axeman trying to save, like, the newbie recruit, I will be very annoyed, but... There we are, that's a kill. Flail to the face, and he didn't wear head protection. Oh, great, Brigand Raider is running. There we are. I think I want to swing here. Slightly better chance. Okay, that's another arrow taken off the field, so he has to go to the dagger. Okay, so most of their range is neutralized at the very least. Okay. And Robert, admittedly, Robert is now down to his health bar, but his health bar is 102. So he's got a pretty beefy health bar. Okay, that might... We're starting to break through. There we go. Now, do I go to... I'm going to go to the dagger. What we're trying to get here is a route. There we are. Okay, he's running. He's not, which is why I'm still swinging at him. That hurts. He's also out of javelins, that's why he's got an empty hand. Or at least I assume that's what that means. You don't have any useful armor, so you just get stabbed to death. You have great armor. Okay, that guy's now running. But I'm pretty sure he'll get away without me being able to block him. I'm going to go for the dagger anyway. Because the more damage done... Let's go for the stab. Much better now that everyone has knives. He might get away. Bugger. There we are. Okay, Storm doesn't have a dagger yet. And Ollie doesn't have a dagger because the archer's spare weapons are not daggers, they are two-handed weapons. But as I was saying, the more damage done the better because the less likely you are to break their armor when they run. It's a shame. down. And by run them down, I basically just means this one, basically. Oh no, that's right, you don't have a knife. You don't have a knife. You do. And I think now we just have to end turns until the other guy is done. Because he will run away. Because I won't catch the other one. I'm not particularly fast. I don't have any tools to catch him. Alright, victory after 10 rounds. We took some damage, but no one's dead. Loot-wise. Okay, patch mail, 90. 2 hunting bows, so if we recruit any more archers. A level 2, another dagger. Helmets, 140, 140, 105, 105. An armor upgrade. Yeah, this is good. Love it. Love all of that. Let's see who leveled. The archers didn't quite. Havard here at the back did. Let's go 3. I like that 3 because you're not very brave. Why are you not brave? I thought you were super brave. Oh no, you are super brave. 47. What was I seeing? I was seeing something wrong there. Let's gift you. Oh, I'm not accounting for your special trait. I'm not accounting for this. Okay, how are we going to build you? Well, we're definitely going to add that. We'll add that, because you've had a couple of good rolls, and gifted, I think, always gives you a good roll. And you know, a little bit of melee defense is always probably a good idea. Do I want to up your resolve and make you like a banner person, or do I want to exploit your fatigue? I think I kind of want to exploit your fatigue. The question is over who is really brave and gets made a brave person who yells at everyone else to be brave. Maybe it is Havard. In which case I leveled that wrong, but that's okay. So 3-3 and take the 3. And he's got lots of perks. So he's the first one who can like take a weapon specialization. Now, eventually, two-handed swords are great, and right now he's using this scimitar. So maybe I take Sword Mastery. Having a sword in the lineup's not a bad thing. +3, +3. Jeez, lots of good rolls. For fatigue. Don't know what weapon spec you're going to take, so I'm going to procrastinate on your perk. And Conrad, you leveled up, +2. Jeez, you are not brave. +2. +3. +4, +3, +3. Okay, Conrad. And you've got a cut arm, so -15% melee skill at the moment, so you also can't hit anyone. I need to start thinking about if someone gets demoted to second line duty at some point, but either way, the squad is coming along well, and we can go back and get paid, and then it's worth heading back to Varelmark at some point to sell the loot that we are collecting, maybe after a trip to Hohenau. Okay, we did what we set out to do. We finally bought those trade goods, and we made it back to Varelmark to offload all the stuff that we bought. So we bought the salt for 276. Let's sell it for that. Let's sell the quality wood. We won't buy we won't sell the cloth. We will buy more cloth. We will sell the cloth in the south. We will offload the useless tunics. Let's gear everyone up first. So we want the front rowers to get the good stuff, like nasal helmets. Asher is a good troop. So Asher gets a 90 chainmail. Storm, you're in a 95 at the moment, but you need a better hat. Frontliners are starting to look good. Bonza, you definitely need a better hat, but you're in good armor already. Soul. I don't think there's anything here in terms of better hats now. So instead what happens now is the backliners replace their straw hats with leather head wraps, which are slightly better. Not much better, but slightly better. And this lovely hunter's hat, unfortunately, has to get replaced with this ugly open leather cap because it's, well, it may save your life one day. Now we've got an 80. Warp 10 gets an 80. These are 50s. I think everyone has better than 50s, so we can get rid of those. Maybe keep one in reserve. There's an awful lot of weapons that we can now get rid of. These shields, let's replace that shield there. So everyone who needs one has got a shield. There's a spare dagger. Storm was the one who was missing the dagger. Even though he's got the flail, I'm going to give it to him. The pikemen also need knives eventually. We will get it for them. And then a lot of this stuff I think we can sell. And the town should give us pretty good value on it. We're traders after all. So let's sell the gossamer. Let's sell this silver bowl. Let's sell the stuff that we took from the spiders. Let's sell a bunch of the extra shields. The crappy bows. I don't want the crossbow. I don't think I want the scrammer sacks. Oh, and someone gets a boar spear. Fantastic. Let's sell most of the short swords. Really collapsing down the amount of kit we've got. And let's keep one armor in case we recruit anyone or we get something destroyed. We might apply a double mail, but I don't think it's worth it right now. We'll keep the javelins. We might even issue the javelins. We'll issue the boar spear, and we have 6,000 bucks, which is kind of good. Kind of good. Who's still using spears? Warp 10. Warp 10 still using a spear. Let's swap that out. So the only shitty spears that we are still using is Conrad, the questionable quality new recruit, who admittedly does have the iron lungs, and the iron lungs are one reason to keep him. People who are watching, tell me how to perk archers. I don't know how to perk archers, but Ollie and Enrico seem like pretty good archers, worth keeping, so, you know, any tips on how to perk them would be useful. Let's check the missions out. That looks like a delivery mission of Azim Shab. Let me think about that. Where is Azim Shab? Wow, okay, that's a walk. And secure the ruined orchard. That's close by, so let's accept that. It's probably an easy contract. Yeah, it's right nearby. And this might be the last mission for the go, because it should be a relatively easy one, which means it is jinxed. We've unlocked retinue. I won't recruit one. This means you get a camp follower. So you can pay money to have these agents work with you, and they give bonuses. So for example, the scavenger means you recover part of the ammo you use and recover tools and supplies for all the armor destroyed. He costs 3,000 or higher, and then he just hangs around. We've only got one slot open at the moment, and you need to do specific things in order to unlock them. I'm kind of considering hiring the scavenger straight away. The alternative is saving up and buying like a piece of really good armor. But I'm going to hire the scavenger because, you know, he produces, he's an investment, right? So he's going to produce tools and ammo every fight, including stuff that we destroy from the opponents. So these are refugees. So we're being paid, I thought we were clearing out bad guys, but instead we're clearing out refugees. All right, luckily there was no violence involved. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure if you abandoned the quest at that point, you basically get yourself in serious trouble. So yeah, that was not exactly our finest moment, but you know, mercenaries and all that. Let's go back down to Tunweir. We can sell our 4 bolts of cloth and think very much about what we just did for 300 bucks. The reason I did that, by the way, is because, not that I need to justify it in a game, but if you look at the house relationships, failing a mission can be really bad for your relationship with towns and then owning noble houses. And right now we're working on very friendly relations with Varulmark, which is kind of like my home away from home. Breaking a contract with them would kind of undo all the good work. Anyway, let's skip down south and see if I can distract you guys with something else in shiny so we don't have to feel bad about that mission. Also, I'm pretty sure if you say no, they get murdered by someone. I can't remember the event. I think I watched GC at some point. Anyway, good harvest, marketplace, bolts of cloth. Well, it means we can buy cheap food. Tools are also not very expensive. We'll buy one set. I would have liked to sell the cloth for more, but we will get rid of it here. And we will get rid of the amber. We'll buy the incense probably, but let's check out the arena first. Spider. Webnecht. 5 webnecks with 3 men. I can do 5 webnecks with 3 men. Who's up for the challenge? Well, we know we want to send the one of the archers, so we'll send Ollie. I'd like Robert to get his qualification. And Bronzer. Or Bonza, rather. So let's go fight some webnecks. And then try and resist the urge to donate the entire 700 crowns to the first group of refugees I come across, because I'm a terrible mercenary. I'm not going to close, I'm going to let them close with me. That would have been really nice if I got that. Alas. This is not great, but I feel this is not terrible. Okay. So we've killed one of them. Nice hit. Okay, that guy bled to death, which is good because Ollie was not in good shape. Ollie can now draw the bow again. Make a kill. Make a flee. Huh, interesting. Trying to dodge into the way, obviously. Let's rotate. Okay, they're all fleeing. Okay, that's the end of the fight. Ollie did take a lot more damage than I was hoping, but we get paid. Are you not entertained? 700 crowns, and I'm pretty sure Ollie levels up, which means another 3 ranged attack. And probably 4 fatigue. Do I want range defense on my ranged character, or do I not want another 4 initiative? I feel like that'll protect the ranged character, and we now have 2 perks, so I desperately do need to understand how to build a bloody archer. We'll check our missions, and then I'll sign out. Caravan to Violetheim. That's perfectly fine. So that's 520 crowns, 2 days walk, so they pay our fees, and they get us back to where we need to go, so I need time to think about that. And this is a delivery to Nordholz, which is also somewhere we could go, which is perfectly fine. Arena, let's check out if there's anyone to recruit. Doesn't look like anyone interesting to me at the moment, given our numbers. So we'll go to the marketplace. We'll buy the incense, because I'm pretty sure I'll find someone to buy it. I'll buy 1 more set of tools. The rice is very cheap, so I'll buy a lot of rice. And with that in mind, and not a huge amount of accomplishment, and a boat that goes nowhere, I think I take the one to Violetheim. So let's escort the caravan north. And what I'll do is, now that we're on our way, this is probably a good place to leave the episode. We've recruited a couple of new people, we've leveled up, we've started to build a bit of a battle line. I need advice on... I need to work out Storm's build, and then I need to decide how to level my archers. I probably need to move someone else back to the back line, maybe, or I can go to a full 12 lineup and then have one more backliner and have a symmetrical layout. But for the moment, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like my last recruit should be a range character, so we can have like pike, range, and then a front line, maybe for the moment. Eventually, you probably want to stagger an even line, but for the moment, this seems to work perfectly well. We've got a reasonable amount of money. 177 crowns per day is pretty cheap. I'm pretty happy with most of the setup. The armor and equipment we have is still very basic, like in most cases. We've upgraded some weapons, but we're not even in like the basic bitch chainmail armor for the most part. But that just means we need to find more bandits and people to shank and take the stuff from, which is something that we will hopefully do next episode. I hope you are enjoying your time with Battle Brothers. I'm certainly enjoying it, and I'll see you all again soon. Okay, so because I have terrible impulse control when it comes to finding places to sell trade goods, I have come back down south and taken a mission to clear out some nomads, but along the way we found some random person. He's an elder who hasn't had his equipment stolen. Turns out that he's a veteran of the arena, was told to throw a match, didn't throw the match, and instead threw the other guy's head out of the arena. The other guy turns out to have been the son of someone important, who clearly was doing the match to make him look good, and as a result spent 5 years in the dungeon. The question is, do we recruit him? And of course, the recruitment is free and he has equipment, so the answer is yes. Oh, fighting days are a bit beyond me. Looking to sell the armor and leave the city forever. What? Gladiator's harness. Gladiator's harness for 1,000 cash. Damn. How good's the gladiator harness? I'm going to look that up. So it looks like some really lightweight basic armor. I'm not sure it's worth 1,000, so I'm going to say no thanks, we're good, because I'm going to build like a heavyweight company, I reckon. Real northern... I guess the southerners also have some very heavy armor, but we don't want gladiator harnesses, I don't think. Mostly because I don't know how to build nimbly, dodgy characters, which is what a gladiator harness would be for. Anyway, shelter in between the rocks. What a creatively named location. Let's go attack it. Alright, I'm back. There was someone at the door. Okay, so there's 6 of them. We're on relatively flat terrain, so they're going to have to come to us because their ranged weapons have a shorter range than us. Warp 10 is very badly damaged, and he is going to bravely run the hell away. So, you are not in base contact. Run, my friend. Run. Nice. This is so Havard is also damaged, but here he can sort of hide behind the 2 shield guys, which actually makes him a little harder for the slingers to engage. So slingers, as I understand it, slings have less range and are less damaging than bows, but they have infinite ammo because you can just pick up any rock off the ground and shoot it, or at least that's how the game treats it. In reality, you want a rock that's of a certain size and the characteristics, but we're just going to assume that there is an infinite supply of relevantly sized rocks, which is a perfectly fine assumption for me. Slings historically very popular weapons, very, very widely used since antiquity. And as you can see, they are trying to attack my claim that their weapon is inferior to the bow by beating up on our archers, which, to be fair, is a good approach. Not going to lose Warp 10 over this battle. There we are. Okay. So hopefully all of this will start convincing these guys that running away might be a good idea. Or our archer could make a compelling counter-argument on the relative benefits of bows versus slings. In fact, I feel that was very well argued. Very, very, very literate and well-considered argument. I won't risk that, even though it would be style points. Instead, we'll just eliminate him. Victory destroyed in 3 rounds. Got some loot, money, food. Nothing particularly cool. Oh, knife. We've got a knife. That's good. I'll take a knife. I think we were still missing one. Who was missing a knife? The pikemen. The pikemen are missing knives. So one for you. And eventually we will get one for you as well. And do we want to move anyone to the back line with a pole mace? That is the question. We'll think about it once we get back to town. +3, +3. These are, again, good rolls. I think we're going to take the 4 fatigue, probably. So your melee skill is decent. I think not the best in the team, but very, very good. Like number 2, maybe? Might be number 1. I haven't been keeping track of their scores exactly. Anyway, back to Tanweer. Alright, I feel like the 570 crowns is actually worth less than what we're going to pull selling our stuff to the market, but you know, that is often the way. We'll keep the hat, get rid of the surcoat and one of the spears, all the crappy clubs and maces, we won't use them. I'll get rid of 2 of the slings. I sometimes give slings as secondary weapons to backliners with decent range who are there to use a pike, but they can quick switch to a sling because it is infinite ammo. So I'll hold on to them. I'll hold on to 1 hunting bow in case we recruit an archer. I won't sell the pole mace just yet. We'll probably equip the mail. We will sell the silver bowl, and all of a sudden we have 7,000 cash. I think we do buy the incense, buy 1 set of tools. I don't think there's anything really cool. I sold my wood, but I don't think there's anything really cool here in terms of armor. There's a weaponsmith here who sells very good weapons, including this sword lance. That's very cool. Sword lances are cool. Level 3. I mean, what I should really be doing is buying really good pole hammer. Amazing for getting through armor. 2-handed scimitar. These are all brutal good weapons that would cost like half of our money. So I think we pass on that for the moment. Soul is wearing an 80, can now go up to that, and this 50 is better than your 40. So there we are. Soul just got a little bit of a protection upgrade, which is kind of handy. That's an 80, right? Who's doing worse than 80? I know Conrad is. He's just the he just wasn't the most important person on the lineup. So there we are. Conrad got a little bit of an upgrade. That's a 65. I think everyone in the back is in 65s or 70s. Looks like it. Alright, I feel like we're in good shape. I will try it, because one option is to bring one of these frontliners. Maybe warp 10? I don't know. Maybe one of these characters may be back, because that's going to be our lineup, right? Interesting. Because then eventually we can build like an even set lineup, right? Where we can have 6 in the back and 6 up front. Or we can do like 7-5 or some sort of arrangement. You can field 12 on the field. That said, no reason to argue with the success we're currently having at the moment. The flails are both metal, right? Yep. And no one's using a shitty... One person's using a shitty spear. Conrad is using a shitty spear. I think instead of using a shitty spear, Conrad might genuinely be better off with a better flail. 25 to 55. Yeah, we'll give Conrad a better flail, and we'll swap it so that Asher is on the flank. The arena is once again offering 3-man v 5 Webknechts, which is a great opportunity again, I feel. So, Bob, in you go. Bonza Bunny, in you go. And once again, Ollie, in you go, because we do know that archery tends to do reasonably well versus Webknechts. If we can kill any of them before contact, that's obviously a huge win. Wasn't a kill, but it was pretty good. Alright. Smack. Or rather, archery does do well against Vevnex if you can protect them. Maybe in an arena fight, leaving the archer behind is for the better. Because he always ends up going to his secondary and then just spending all of his turns doing this. Alright, that's a kill. Free yourself and stab that guy. Oh wait, no, we free this guy. There we are. That's a kill. Archer can go back to the bow and take a shot. Nice hit. Alright, we'll free him at this point because we don't want him to be damaged by any critical attacks. Nice. Alright, that's a nice little extra bit of experience and 700 cash. Is that all the missions for Tanweer? It is all the missions for Tanweer. And I can't see myself buying any of this stuff, and I really shouldn't go and splurge on the weapons. But these are all good. The two-handed scimitar is good. So much better than the stupid axe that we're using. Two-handed cleaver. Do I waste half my money on this? I really should buy some good armor. I should really buy some good armor. Oh, this is so hard. It's taking tremendous discipline, but I am leaving Tanveer and going west to Kibera. I figure I should visit all 3 of the free cities, buy as many southern trade goods as I can, and then head back north to my whichever house owns the lion face banner and sell all my stuff there. That's 4 nomads. I can pick off 4 nomads. Come here, guys, as long as you're walking in roughly the right direction. Although catching these guys is a pain. They might cost me more in wages than I get from killing them. But, you know, it's the principle of the thing. Ooh, and I see some shiny weapons. In particular, that guy has a two-handed scythe, which is not as good as the two-handed scimitar I was thinking about buying, but, you know, still. We'll wait. Close in. Hit him in the head, because his head armor sucks. Let's step in. There we go. So it's a two-handed weapon, but one that can attack twice per turn. So it doesn't do as much damage as like the really big swingy ones, but it's a little more flexible. It lets you basically hybrid between a one-handed weapon and a two-handed weapon, as I understand it. So he looks like his head is vulnerable to being attacked, and so it will be attacked. Let's go knife. Pike. There we go. I'm loving the limited head armor on these guys, because it's making them very vulnerable to the number of flails I'm packing. No, I don't have enough AP. Alright, that happens. Run him down. There we are. He is trapped. Knife. And I think we're coming home with his armor protection as well. And maybe his pole mace. And we know pole maces are worth a decent amount of money. This is so much better now that everyone has stabby weapons. Fantastic. Destroyed in 3 rounds. 105 armor. 125 helmet. That's nifty. A couple of tools. 195. Oh yeah, that was worth a diversion. And we got the two-handed scythe. So, I'm pretty sure that what we should do is go straight to Robert, who did say he wanted to be an axe bro, but This does 35 to 70 damage and attacks once per turn. This does 50 to 70 and can attack twice per turn. Like, it's just a better weapon, Robert. So we'll get you a fancy axe at some point, but for the moment, there you go. That's a 110 armor, so you can, and you got a 140 hat, so you're in pretty good shape. I think Soul gets the new hat. Warp 10, you still got a 45 hat and an 80 body. How about you get this 105 body? Prove your deal just a bit. And I'm liking this so far. Let's repair those weapons for selling purpose, or some of them for selling purposes. And we've got a spare, what, a spare 80? So most likely to be needed by the people on the flank, so we'll give Havard that. Everyone's feeling good about life. Yeah, we like killing nomads and brigands. Let's go to Kabira and hope that I don't find any snakes, because snakes seem horrible. They're one of the creatures you can find in the desert, and just like I prefer fighting northern bandits to fighting creepy crawlies, same thing holds true in the south. I'd rather fight nomads than any of the other indigenous life forms. You know, humans are actually the least threatening option. Okay, so we got to Kabira. Kabira's not doing so well. Sandstorms increase the prices of goods, and ambush trade routes increase the prices of goods. So if we go to the marketplace, I can already offload my incense for a significant profit, plus get me closer to completing my objective there. We'll sell a gambeson and these shitty hats. We'll sell the shitty spears. I don't think we'll ever use the woodcutter's axes. I'll sell one of the pole maces, one light southern mace, one shield, because we're getting good prices for all of it. And I think that's it on the immediate selling. Could sell one additional nomads, or one's a staff sling, one's a nomad sling. We'll sell the staff sling because the nomad one is just better. We're going to want to buy spices, but everything here right now is super expensive. There is a weaponsmith tempting me with more weapons, but no. There is no... Oh, there is an armorer. You selling anything good? I'm not really seeing anything good. What I want is some really expensive, awesome chess pieces. I'm just not seeing it. What I will do, however, is check out the missions, the recruits, and see what we've got. Alright, so I picked up two characters who cost me a grand total of like 400 gold, I think. This is Rambit the Reservist and Fury the Reservist. They are Southern Indebted, which are characters who basically owe a whole bunch of money to someone, and as a result have to perform acts of labour, but you can buy their contracts, so they have to work for you until it's paid off, which I don't think ever happens in the normal course of the game unless you choose to say the debt is foregone, which means they're generally pretty terrible at everything, but they cost 0 upkeep. You have to feed them and stuff, and if they're injured and you get rid of them, you have to pay them compensation and recognition for their time in service. But the other thing about them is because they are indebted, there are no morale checks. Is always content being in reserve. So once you have more than 12 characters, you can only field 12 in a normal playthrough. But you can have people in reserve. But normally this pisses them off. It makes them very sad. But the indebted don't want to really fight, so they're always happy being in reserve. So they're great bench warmers. They cost no upkeep. And if someone's injured or you want to take them off the line for a while, you pull them out and you put the reservist in. Now for the moment, we have a free slot on the roster. So either Fury or Rambit haven't been renamed yet. Does anyone want to be the indebted? Does anyone want to be indebted? I mean, Fury is a weasel. He has plus 25% melee defense when he's retreating. So Fury has a little less health. He's got a little more fatigue, but Rambit has stars. 31 resolve is bad. Neither of them have resolve stars. Fury's got initiative stars. Fury's got 56 melee defense, 5 melee defense, 56 melee skill with 1 star. Fury's not terrible. What we could do with Fury, since he's pretty disposable, is we could pick someone. Maybe, like, I know he's meant to be disposable, but if we want to just give him some levels before he gets into real trouble. Oh, I don't have I just sold too many hats. Anyway, what I was saying is we can give him this pole mace, and he can hang at the back with the pikes. Admittedly without a hat for the moment. We'll find him a hat. And he can plonk people until he learns. And even if he becomes a max level, he'll still cost 0 upkeep. So Fury can level Rambit. I'm going to give you this just so it doesn't look like I'm like dragging a hobo around with the company. So you'll be fed, clothed, and be required to do absolutely nothing. Let's check out the local missions. So Violet's, we know where Violet Time is, and that's for about 900 cash. That's a long walk. Nomads, we're going to do that one. We're always going to do that one because I love hitting nomad bases. So let's take our squad at 12 out for the first time and go hit this nomad camp. So there, yeah, I find they're not very good characters, but I think having just maybe 2 or 3 on your roster as backup reservists as you build up a roster of really good characters intuitively seems like a good idea to me. Maybe wrong. All right, looks like they are coming out to fight us. Let's see if they're... Okay, that didn't discourage them. We won't be able to close into actual range immediately, though. I think there's the step. That lured him just perfectly. I think that's the square. Yep, that worked. Let's see if we can get this two-handed scythe deployed. Not to murder the one who's running, that's fine. That was a very underwhelming introduction to our new fancy weapon. Let's go out on this flank. And we want to go for the stun. We missed anyway. So Pole Mace's secondary attack is a stun. So it's a range 2 stun. Oh, well, you're going to miss your 80% chances some of the time. In fact, you will miss an 80% chance about a fifth of the time, because that is how numbers work. I think breaking through the front line is more important than archering the Nomad Slingers. There we are, and backliners certainly help, because backliners put more combat power on a narrow area of the front. That's how I think about them. Let's wait. And I'm actually going to shield up for this guy. Well. I'd like to be able to step forward, but Conrad has... Everyone's done their turn. So instead we're going to go up here, and we're going to bonk him. Alright, he's now running. Fantastic. So shield walling turns out to have been unnecessary. You're now running, so I go here, and now I'm contacting both of you. Lovely removal of that person's head. Let's run them down. Right, he's now trapped. I don't know if his armor's worth anything, but that's still a shanking offense. This guy might get away, so we will go for a bonk. Which we missed, but that's okay. Lots of damage done, lots of damage done. Nice shank. And now if we can just block this guy from retreating... Oh, we can't block this guy from retreating. Go for the headshot. He's not going to retreat now. And if I go for the head strike on this guy... So the secondary on the two-handed scythe is Decapitate. Which does exactly what it says on the tin. We'll slash this guy, and he's down. Fantastic. The loot. The armor isn't anything good. We did get a little hat. There's a signet ring, a little bit of food. Alright, decent amount of loot, including the fact that we can now give Fury here a hat. Truly, victory has been achieved. Look at that. You're a conscript who gets like a gambeson, a pole mace, a hat. Like, this weapon is literally worth 5 or 6 times what he is. It's a weapon that costs like 1,400 to buy, And he cost about 200. So let's go Asher. 20 melee defense is getting good. I wanted fatigue this roll, but he's just not very good on the fatigue. So we will go 53 resolve and never roll resolve again. And Asher, you have rotation, you have gifted, you have student, you have basically all of the things I could want from you. So you too will need a weapon specialization soon. What will it be? The other option is to give one that I like to give all my frontliners, which is Brawny, so I will do that. It's not very good right now, but it'll pay off later. Havard has also leveled +3, nice. +4, because his melee defense roll wasn't particularly good. And you can now rotate. Fantastic. Loving all of it. So we've got a full squad. Everyone's feeling good about life. Do we want to give our reservist here a weapon just so we don't forget? I think so. You can have a sling, a shield, and a scythe or a sword. I'll give you a sword. There you are. No hat for you, but at least if anyone walks by, you can say you're a respectable mercenary, you know? And the reason you don't wear a hat is because important characters do not wear helmets. Just ask movies. It's not like important people in medieval battles or whatnot would have worn, in many cases, massively ornate and highly protective headgear. No, 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 no. Okay. So we did the mission. The town is still super expensive to buy stuff from, so I think our job here is done. Because I'm not going to buy goods there during all of those disasters. I think we're going to go to Azim Shab next, which means exploring all of this wilderness. And hopefully get some good trade goods and missions over there. We do have money and food and everything, so a little bit of walking is okay. But generally, a lot of walking is bad because, you know, time is literally money because I pay my people. Well, pay most of my people. Some nomad outlaws, a few no. Maybe we go visit this encampment. What do you reckon? Now, I've decided that at the end of the day, it's as simple as the fact that they have our stuff. Well, they have stuff which we could possess if they weren't, you know, in possession of their stuff. So we are going to basically tangle with these nomads, I think. I'm not seeing a bunch of really valuable weapons, but, you know, it's experience. Let's see if they want to come towards us. They're using cover because they're being smart. Let's see if putting the pike in front entices them out. Come on. I'm not going to send more guys out. That should be enough to entice them forward. No. All right. So you move there. That's a dangerous square. So let's go here. We'll go there. Go there. Basically, any square the two-handed weapons cannot hit immediately. Because generally speaking, I would advise you to not get hit by two-handed weapons. If someone approaches you with a two-handed combat axe and looks like they're attempting to attack you, I would advise not getting hit by that axe. Free life lesson with Perun. There we are. Nice positioning. Or it could be terrible positioning, but it feels good at the moment. Mate, I'm not coming to you. It's okay. You've already sent one of your two-handers forward. Like, I have someone I can pick off this turn. It's okay. And my archers are not as new. Oh, okay. Or you can do that. Alright, archery it is. Let's wait for all of them to act. Alright, you're spear walling. Could shoot him, but I don't think I want to yet. I don't think any of them are going to advance. I think they're just going to shoot, and that's okay. But if they do advance... Nope, they're not going to. Okay, so again, the rule is do not get hit by the two-handed weapons. Pike to here. into base contact. He's vulnerable, so I step 1 square 2 forward there. Ah, well. So only one of them can strike, so let's do that. I have no clue how good this guy's attack value is, but I'm going to attempt this. And got punished for it. Two-handed mace out to the side. Found a 40% there. And even better, it was on a two-handed weapon, so always happy to take those off the field. That's potentially problematic. Now, we can put Havard behind people, but he's still going to be vulnerable to particularly ambitious arrow shots. I'm happy with this contest here. Send someone without a shield to take on Robert and his two-handed scythe. So this hammer got to go. 16% is bad, but I'll take it because I have no other option. That would have been nice, but we can use the opportunity to rotate in our sword user. Nice shooting. Okay, a lot of archery to come from them, and all nomads have super high initiative, so they're going to get almost all their attacks first, which means this is going to hurt. Ow, I was hoping he'd remove the shield first. So, Soul here is in bad shape. So much so, and my pike is in such bad shape that I'm going to rotate an archer to the front line, well, the semi-front line. Storm is also in trouble. Nice. Oh, he's fleeing. Fantastic. And he's fleeing. Which means I can go into base contact with these archers. And I can go into base contact with this archer. Because it's the archers that still have the ability to kill me. Are they still dangerous fighting with their secondaries? Absolutely, but, you know... I'd much rather than be fighting the people with full health and armor with their secondaries than shooting arrows at my nearly dead brothers. Alright. Fury the Reservist got a hit. Nice. Well, no one looks to be in good shape. But the enemy position at this point is collapsing. I was hoping he got a hit and got routed, but that's okay. That's an archer removed. Don't have a dagger. Stab him and hope we don't get the head. I don't actually want to go into base contact with Storm, so he can pull back. Same with Soul. A little bit of damage is to be expected. Alright, I think we got this. A lot of people are in really bad shape. Like, bad shape, but we got this. I'm not even going to shoot arrows because there is a danger that we miss. All I'm going to do is use you to block people from fleeing. I can't block him from fleeing, so he dies. Scythe wielder to the dagger and stab. Doubt his armor will be salvageable. Now victory, but we've got grazed neck, cut leg muscles, grazed neck, smashed hand. Like, people are in bad shape. But we got 2 sets of trade goods, bunch of cash, money, got some medical supplies so people can heal up, a lot of tools from destroyed armor, some scythes, and some hats. Fantastic. I call that an absolute win. Let's have a look at our brothers. Looks like Warp 10 has leveled up. Terrible melee attack rolls to the point where I probably don't even take it. We'll take +2, +4, and I think +4. And do I want Brawny early? I'm going to take Brawny at this point. Conrad, even work, +3 is fine. We'll take the +3 because you desperately need it. Conrad is not impressing me so far, at least with the stat rolls. 5 initiative or 4, I think we'll take 4 fatigue at that point. And rotation. And everyone else is as they are. I will do a little bit of equipment shuffling, mostly because I think we have one front liner who could desperately use a better hat. There we are. Warp 10 could also use a better hat. The bows I don't think are particularly more impressive than anything we've got, but we will repair the fancy looking kit, because then it will sell for more, and our guys may as well use our walking time effectively. And we can go to Rambert and give him a hat. A strength 50, no, we don't want to give him a strength 50 hat, because some of our backliners don't have strength 50 hats, like Ollie. Ollie gets the strength 50 hat, you get a strength 40 hat. And I'm wondering, I think the scimitar is in fact pretty decent. But I don't think anyone needs an equipment swap right now. So we're good to go to the city. Alright, we've made it to Azim Sharp. It has the traditional ambush trade routes, so it's time to sell a bunch of crap. Oh, we picked up a 3-headed flail. I should deploy that. We'll get rid of the composite bows because they're not as good as the bows that we are using. Good selection of shields. We'll get rid of the signet ring. Building up a very good collection of money now. I'm happy with how that's looking. We'll get rid of 1 bundle of javelins. Actually, I shouldn't have done that, because having 2 bundles of javelins is ideal. Everything here is too expensive to buy. We should go to one of our flail characters, I think. Probably our original, Soul. And I think the 3-headed flail is better than the base flail. It rolls 3 separate attacks. I believe there are some perks that combine well with it, I'm not sure. Do we want Soul? The problem is flails become pretty useless later on, but they're really good now, so I kind of want to spend a perk point on a flail, but I will resist it because I think Soul will be with us for a bit, mostly because he's one of the originals. The Smashed Hand, however, does make him terrible at the moment. Let's check out the local missions. The Armourer, because of the trade routes, that's all going to be way too expensive for what it is. So, Kabira, 2 days to the east for 700. And Tanweer for 830. Is Kabira just the one we came from? It is. So I guess we can just retrace our steps, right? We'll escort a caravan back to Kabira, which does the job. We're up to 10,000. Everything there was too expensive. Why would I race a horse on foot? Like, humans are good at many things, but I don't think racing horses is good. Bipedal locomotion is not ideal for racing against a quadruped like a horse. We're endurance predators. We're not exactly going to outpace a horse. And having declined to race our mercenary company against a horse, that is where I'll end it for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all again soon.